Hey Libras, this is our mid-February 2020 reading. The Sun card is reversed. First card out of the deck for you Libras. Of course, the reading might apply to the entirety of February. It may take you into March, even through Pisces season, which is tomorrow at this point, right? Mercury went retrograde yesterday officially, but we are already very much acquainted with the energies, right? With that energy having been in the shadow period for a couple of weeks. I do think that the new moon will be particularly significant for a lot of you Libras. Two of fire, crossing that Sun card in reverse. There may be a Leo missing from the picture at this time for you, or you're lacking clarity. But on some level, you know that what's happening now is taking you to a calmer place. Calmer mentally and emotionally, maybe literally. You may be traveling, taking a voyage, a journey somewhere, Libras. Ace of Chalices, Ace of Water is also reversed. It is a piece of advice for you. The Ten of Chalices is in your past. So we see shared emotional fulfillment in the past, Libras, but you're advised to notice a love that is false, unrequited, blocked. And then in the future, the Seven of Earth is also reversed. In the bottom of the deck, I saw for you already when shuffling and meditating, the Ten of Air, Ten of Swords. This is about a painful ending to a negative cycle for you, Libras. As I said, at the center of the reading, it looks like something is unclear, or for some of you, is someone jealous of you? Some of you may be unable to fully express your authentic self, your authentic truth, Libras. Or again, there could be a Leo energy missing from the picture. I did say, yeah, I do think that this new moon in Pisces on the 23rd will be a really powerful, potent time for you. I'm not sure where you have Pisces in your chart, perhaps, or you know, sort of depends on your chart in general and what, because of what else is going on as well. But a time to set intentions. 10 of Cups shows again, now on the bottom of the clarifier deck, the Radiant Rider-Waite here. I did draw the Knight of Swords. This is serving as a clarifier on that Sun card reversed. So 3 10s. 10, 10, 10. I will try to remember to put that in the description for you, Libras. So this is definitely the closing of a cycle. And for some of you, it is just so painful that it is, you know, you're just very sad, just very unhappy. There may have been someone or some type of energy that has been in and out of your life, or some aspect of your life, Libras, that you yourself have been in and out of, and that is what you're putting a stop to. Because another Knight, the Knight of Fire, now shows up as the clarifier on that 10 of Air, that painful ending to a negative cycle. Very interesting reading, Libras. There are multiple messages coming through, and it's just tricky to piece together anyway. It does look like here in the recent past, you certainly felt this shared emotional fulfillment, this sense of joy with another or others. And now, yeah, the 2 of Cups, 2 of Chalices shows as a clarifier on that 10 of Chalices. So there was some type of bond, partnership, that allowed for this shared emotional fulfillment. And I'm not sure why there is a lack of clarity or happiness or authenticity now. Well, for a lot of you, it just was with a Leo. And they're missing from the picture. Or you know, if it's not the message of putting the sign of Leo specifically in the reading, then we're talking about your confidence and ability then to express authentically being affected by this, probably by this bond, this partnership that you did have emotional fulfillment with once. Doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic partnership, but it looks like, yeah, your pride and your confidence may have been wounded in some way because you may have caught them lying to you, betraying you, and while you handled the situation in a very mature way, showed your emotional intelligence, right? Yeah, may have been incredibly diplomatic, you still, in being honest with yourself, had to then acknowledge what was undeniably toxic about the situation. If you were being betrayed and you know, asked to handle that type of situation in a diplomatic way. I mean, I think you did the right thing, don't get me wrong. But yeah, for some of you, that is more specifically what it is. And so that makes sense with our advice, right? The Ace of Chalices reverse. See that this is a false love, an unrequited love, It's not necessarily time to open up to this person, even if you think that they are the one or a divine partnership for you. With the Two of Fire here, that's just a message to me that some of you specifically may be having thoughts of like a twin flame journey in your head, or soulmates, or soul matches, or life partners, or any type of divine partnership, really. And yeah, I still don't think it's the time to really open up to this person. Our fourth 10 shows now. This is the end of a cycle. It's probably them who's been in and out of the connection, the situation with you for whatever reason. Again, doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. But you are headed toward, a calmer mental and emotional state of being, out of this worry, fear, doubt, anxiety, insecurity that we see here. This energy of sleepless nights, maybe even to the extent of insomnia, just stress, however that shows up and manifests physically on a daily basis for you, right? I thought this was our fourth 10, and no, it's the 9 of Swords. So I just keep going with the clarifiers here. This does feel like a loss to you, it seems, for most of you. This does seem like a situation, a severing that requires a mourning period, that will require that. There's that 10 now. There's the fourth 10 of now, the 10 of air. That's the clarifier on your future card. So there's where that fourth 10 finally showed up. The third one that's still on the table now. Second time, it's the 10 of air. So it's like you've been waiting on this person, perhaps, or the project area of your life that they're associated with to grow, to evolve, to reward you for sticking it out, for continuing to put energy in, right? And it's like the reason that we're finished now is just because you've finally reached a point where it's just taking too long. I think it has been taking too long. You have been impatient and maybe may have even grown complacent at a certain point, right? Because it has been taking too long, but you were willing to let it take too long, and you have been, and finally, sometime around the end of this month, I would say for most, give or take, time being fluid, it's going to be different for everybody. We know this. Yeah, it's finally just enough is enough. It's just it's eating up too much of your energy, too much of your time. You can't wait any longer. It's so interesting and so incredibly similar in a way to Virgo's message that I just did. Insanely similar, Libras. Although you very distinctly got that message of the new moon, that new moon in Pisces being a really powerful, potent, significant time for you to work some moon magic, some intention magic, just to bask in the light of that new moon, to call some things in, to pamper yourself a little, whatever calls to you, or to celebrate Pisces season, perhaps in a Piscean way that just came to mind. Whatever it is that feels like it marks the moment and takes advantage of what that energy has to offer, whatever does that the most for you. So yeah, you really clearly got that message when shuffling and meditating. this is a lot about you just needing to be completely honest, I'd say, with yourself first and foremost, but with whomever else is involved here. It might require a lot of meditation at this time, especially if you are falling prey to overthinking a good deal, getting stuck in this worry, fear, doubt. Are you doing the right thing? Is it time to walk away? As I said, you're headed away from stress and towards something calmer. But I'd say the reason you're overthinking and doubting and maybe needing really to implement a routine that allows for more frequent, even if they're shorter, meditation sessions, right, is because this love was real here in the past. You know, I don't see that it was an illusion. It looks like it was a true bond. It was a true fulfillment. It was truly love and joy. But the fact of the matter is that person is missing now, especially if it's a Leo. They seem to just not be there, and you are consumed by that fact. For others of you, it may be an air sign who is not quite mature enough for you. Perhaps another Libra, Aries, or Aquarius, or a Gemini. Yeah, we whomever it was, whatever sign, it was something that you thought was going to last. The emotion, the connection was very real. The bond, the trust was very real. Again, romantic or not, the kinship, the connections, maybe the plans, the promises, very real, very real. But you are making plans on your own either way. And you may be rushing and getting reckless, getting a little reckless with your thoughts, with your plans, even with your words, maybe toward this person now, Libras, because, you know, maybe you're in pain. What your world revolved around is no longer there. Their warmth is missing. You know, I'm hearing ain't no sunshine when she's gone. In my head, there's cause for chaos in your brain, and there's just the need for more frequent meditation sessions, even if they're shorter, because you are still making plans, you are still moving forward, even if on your own. That's part of what the fact that you can't wait anymore is about. You can't wait on them to be ready to move with you here. And again, it's so similar to Virgo's message. If you also have Virgo in your chart, definitely listen to that message as well. Although, you know, just for the things that are a little bit different, that can offer maybe some more information if this did resonate. Yeah, I'm getting some physical confirmation about that. That's probably worth your time as well. But yeah, just be honest with yourself and be honest with them. Just because that connection was very real doesn't mean that it was meant to, or built to, or ever going to last forever, quote unquote forever, right? Your headspace is so chaotic at this point. If it's not you, it's who you're dealing with, but it looks like you, that it's difficult to plan, to communicate clearly. It's hard to even make this decision, of course, and so you really need this calmer mental and emotional state that you are headed toward. Again, for some of you, literally, physically. But with that being said, Libras, I think we will leave your mid-February 2020 reading there. Thank you so much, as always, just for being here and for all of your support to the channel. I do think that this process, that this end of February, or this Pisces season in general, this Mercury retrograde and the work that happens during that time, I do think it's going to leave you feeling a lot more like yourself, a lot more comfortable in your skin. With the Justice card here, your card, Libra, showing on the bottom of the deck now as I'm sort of cleaning the cards up. But that being said, new aspects of you are going to be highlighted and elevated and more pronounced than they've ever been, more known and understood even by you than they've ever been, more seen. You're going to feel more seen, more connected. So this is just really like a slump, a valley, where either you're missing this particular person or this energy as you're trying to move forward, but being forced to look back. And I think that so much of it is acknowledging that just because something didn't last doesn't mean it wasn't real. Just because something didn't sustain or maintain does not mean that it was not real or significant or destined and divinely inspired. So, with all that being said, I love you, Libras, and I truly look forward to doing another reading for you just as soon as I can. If you are looking for more information on the channel, myself, personal readings, the decks, etc., just scroll down to the description box down below where you can find all of that. And I think that is everything for now. Bye, Libras.